Hey guys, it's Francis. Today is Friday, January the 10th, 2025. This is my trade review. We'll start with the macro, the SPY and Qs. We had a downward bias. For me, it was going on to this trend line, as you can see, this one and this one by extension from way back. If it crossed below kind of this area, I was looking for more bearish, but cognizant that it may bounce a little bit around 580. So let's drill down to the trades I was gonna trade. Oracle was actually the first one. I thought this was actually quite beautiful. Let's take this trend line out. I was looking for a gap down and it does, and this was kind of where the line in the sand is, right? I had this trade prepped for a 2 minute 3 bar play. When this one kind of tripped over 159, I was preparing the trade, but it came down really fast and it never gave me another opportunity to go into it, which was rather unfortunate. On the 1 minute, you can see I had time here, and that volume spike, that indication that it flushed down right away, and yeah, it never came back up, never got filled again, and this was probably the easiest 2R we would have gotten in the beginning of the year. The first trade I actually took was Nike. This was on my gap up list, and the main reason why was because, let's go back to this one right here. I felt like you're coming back to an area of support. Yeah, right there, and just mainly on the daily, right? So at the time, this was opening above the prior bar. So I was looking for it to go above 72 and then hopefully push up. And that's exactly what I got in the beginning. So on the 2 minute, I saw it push up above 72 and then pull back up to the 72 area along the trend line. Quasi buy setup, kind of got a little bit doji here, change of color, support at the VWAP moving average, and relative to the market. Like the market was selling off the whole time. Right here, right? Market was selling off, but Nike was pushing up. So it was looking pretty good. Got back to a prior pivot high. My entry was 72.10. I gave it down to 72.60. Maybe that was too wide of a stop. Sorry, 71.60. Yeah, so 72 by 71.60, that was 40 cents. Maybe I could have tightened it to here, but I did give it the wider stop just because the market was selling off in the open. Couldn't get 1R, and as it came back down below the trend line, I decided to get out a little bit over break even, but let's call it break even just because the market just dumped and Nike just went with it. So break even trade on that one. Second was SPY. Again, similar to that trend line that I drew earlier. What I saw was market selling off and then rather sequential pullback. And I quite like this. I got it on this bar right here as it touched this trend line. This top trend line didn't exist until afterwards. This one I drew, and I'm like, okay, let's go in under VWAP. But as you can see, as I got filled in, it immediately tagged me out the next bar. So my entry was 581 about 80 cents to 582.70 cents, which was right here, right above this bar. It was tight. Possibly could have given it more room, but I think I would have just given it to 583. In any case, I still would have got tagged out. Had I been playing with options, I would have an opportunity to add, and then this would have been super clean at that point. So this was unfortunate. I didn't go back in. I don't think this was a bad trade at all. It just kind of didn't work out. Last trade I took was Apple. Apple on the daily, I was watching this as a continuation, follow through downwards. There was a 50 MA at the time, which it already blew past, and then as it bounced back up, we're gonna look at the market for this one because as the market started bouncing, Apple did not bounce as high. You can see the keys going back up, close to like 80-90% of the day, but Apple struggled. There's a mini trend line I just drew there, and that's where I took it, right there as it broke below that entry. My entry was 236.81 for the fill by 327.20. So it was super tight. I gave it a super tight stop, basically this bar. was it, and then that was a very quick. So it would have been 2R. Obviously, it would have went way more than that. But I saw this bottoming bar and I wasn't sure because Apple was pretty much at 100% retracement at that point. And this was an area of support. If I pointed here, you can correlate to this area. So I took it off a little bit early. I ended up getting about 1.54R. Let's call it 1.5. But I eventually would have got 2. So kind of broke my plan there, but for a reason I thought it was justified. Neither here or there. It still should have been a 2R play. I should have moved to break even. I think with the Nike trade, I just want to get my money back compared to the SPY loss, and having Nike fail, I didn't want to have that again. So anyways, today total was, I believe, 0.66R for the day. Been green ever since, but just been very small incremental greens since the start. So still looking for that breakout day where you get 2 to 4R. We'll revisit and hopefully do better next week. So that's my trade review for Friday, January 10th, 2025.